Now we have UFC welterweight Mounir Lazzez. We are going to start with Nolan King with USA Today.
Hey, Mounir, I appreciate the time, man. Welcome to the UFC. What's it feel like to have your first fight week? How's things going so far?
It's going so well, yeah. The weight cut in the training camp went so well. Let's be honest, I don't want to be fake. It's always horrible cutting weight, but we will do it and we will be ready to fight day.
And with the pandemic, did that impact your training at all? Did you have to make any adjustments? Any shifts into working out in the backyard, or kind of how did this go down for you? How did the
Uh,
pandemic go
yeah,
down?
yeah, I got some extra equipment in my parking garage. And while we get locked down here for 2 months and a half, I was active. You know, it's affect everyone, but I took the best out of it. And then we get the call and we start. We get private gym, and we had our camp properly, for a week and a half.
Awesome. And you know, with this fight, you become the first Arab fighter in UFC history. I mean, what does that mean to you? That's quite an accomplishment, something for the record books. Is that something that excites you?
Just for correction, I'm not the first Arab, but just I'm the first who born and raised and trained in Arab country. There is other colleague, let's say fighter who they are, Arab, but they are born, or let's say they move it to train and live somewhere else, in US or in Europe. This something it's I'm happy with it. I'm proud, but this is not my final achievement. My my goal it's not just to make it to UFC. It's to come here and make my UFC career successful.
For sure. And you have a tough task ahead of you, a very tough opponent in Abdul Razak Al Hassan. What do you expect to see out of him, and what should the fans expect to see out of you?
It's gonna be war. He's a stand-up fighter. He love the stand and trade, and that's it's gonna be hard for him because I have many weapon. I have my footwork. I have my long reach, and I have my mindset. So don't blink. Get your pay-per-view because it's gonna be like firework.
Awesome. Appreciate the time, man.
Thanks, man.
Next, we have Jay Anderson from Cage Side Press.
Thanks very much. And Mounir, congratulations on joining the UFC. Your first fight here, obviously very exciting. Are you nervous as well, just a couple of days out from the fight?
Not actually. It's super weird because this is my UFC debut, but it's so weird. I feel like super calm and composed. Like usually I'm, they lie all the fighter if you tell you I'm super pumped and excited. It's always there is that kind of fear inside the fighter. They don't want to talk about it. But for real, like it's super weird. Like now, just I was talking to my coach and colleague. I was like enjoying the process, just being happy. Here in my second hometown, Abu Dhabi. Just I'm enjoying every moment, and I cannot be more proud of this.
Is it a little disappointing to not have the fans in the arena for this? Because you would essentially be the home star in this case. You train in Dubai, so that would be a huge thing. But you're going to be fighting in an empty arena instead.
In the life we have to adjust, we have to adapt in some situation. It's not always perfect moment or perfect scenario. So I did my best, to. I usually always love to fight in front of my home people, and I get, the energy from the crowd. But it's something new for everyone, for me, for all the athlete, UFC athletes. So we are adapting, and we're gonna keep, you know, fighting and entertain people.
Al Hassan hasn't fought since 2018. Are you a believer in ring rust? Do you think that's going to play into effect at all?
No, I don't believe in that because I had as well too, like 1 year and a half, one time off, you know. So I didn't. I come back and I fought main event here in Dubai against like European ranking number one. Uh, no, it didn't affect me. I don't believe in that. You know, I'm expecting he's coming with full his potential, and I'm coming with full my potential, and that's what make it excited.
And last one for me. I mean, a lot of people are expecting this to be a firefight on the feet between the two of you. What are you expecting from it?
I'm expecting. Very nice fight. It's a calm, composed war. Don't get me wrong. Anyone he will get clicked. He have the opportunity to finish the fight. So we are training for this moment, and I'm just gonna go there confident, composed, calm, smart to deliver that night. That's as simple as that.
All right. Well, thanks very much. Welcome to the UFC. Best of luck on Wednesday.
Thanks for having me.
And then last we have Damon Martin from MMA Fighting.
Hey, Mounir, a lot has been made, especially last weekend with the pay-per-view, about the time difference. The fighters coming in from the States or other international locations and fighting it. I think it would start at 6 a.m. local time for the main card. You're on the opposite side. You train and live in the area, and now you have to fight and adjust. How has that been for you? Have you had to completely adjust your schedule to get ready to fight at such a weird time?
Even for you, brother, if I tell you that you have a fight at 6 a.m., you will be pumped all night, you will not sleep. So it's not a real reaction. Your body will adjust, and we will be just feeling asleep maybe 24 later on. So that's something the body is smart to adapt in this kind of thing. I'm not worried about it. Trust me, Evan. Like I try to adjust, but then I say, listen, it's gonna be fight. Sometimes if it's hit you fight, I don't know, like in the street or wherever, you're not gonna say, wait, I have to adjust. I have to adjust the time to fight. So for me, like I always I'm morning person. I love to wake up early and get my done early. So I wake up a couple of times at 3, 4 a.m. I go walk in the beach, walk in beautiful Dubai to visualize and see my dream. So I'm happy with it, with whatever it's the changes it's coming. So I'm happy with that.
Obviously, anytime you get to make your UFC debut, it's an exciting time. But getting a chance to kick off the main card like this on television here in the States, ESPN. I mean, is it exciting not only to make your debut, but to really make an impact in your first fight? I mean, this is kind of a big showcase for a debut.
Yeah, 100%, because UFC as well, they know what I bring at the table, and they know my following here in the Middle East. I'm not just someone who's coming here like to just make it to UFC. I'm coming here to knock people out, and show my hard work and all the experience I bring in the table. So that's why I believe they get the confidence in me to kick my UFC debut in main card against like tough opponent as well.
And Dana White has said time and time again that Fight Island, Yas Island is going to be a home for the UFC. With the pandemic still going on, probably for the foreseeable future, he talked about coming back either September, October. I'm sure you'd welcome the chance to travel as well. But considering the UFC is going to call Yas Island home for a while, would you like to, after this fight, not looking past this fight, but would you like to stay active? Would you like to take that opportunity to continue to fight, on Fight Island?
100%. I'm planning to be active. I'm not someone who's gonna hold himself like 8 months or whatever to get other chance. For me, the main thing is I focus in this fight, I deliver, I get the result I want, and then I will step back and I will talk the day after with my manager, and we will get date for the next stage, the next event. But I love to be active, as long as everything is fine with my family and health. That's the most important. Then I want to be active. I'm not here coming just to show my face once or twice a year. I want to be active to 3, 4 fight.
And last question, Abdul, the guy you're facing, he was on a great streak before he had that break. I believe it was 3 knockouts in a row. So he had a lot of hype coming in this division. I mean, were you happy with this opponent and the chance to fight a guy who is going to fight you? This is a guy who always guns for the knockout, always guns for the finish. And I imagine that makes openings and opportunities for you as well.
Yes, of course. I'm coming as well too from high real knockout. You can check them. So I'm focusing myself. I'm focusing, on my what I'm gonna bring in that night. So, don't blink and get your pay-per-view. It's gonna be firework. 2 stand-up fighter. They're gonna entertain the fans all around the world.
Thanks so much.
Thanks for having me.
Great job, Mounir. And that is all we have for you today.